So how do you get a deal on a foreclosure in Georgia? That's what I want to talk to you about today. I'm Justin Woodall with Woodall Realty Group in Athens. I want to talk to you about 3 possibilities for getting a good deal on a foreclosed type property. So the first way and the best way, in my opinion, is actually to buy it pre-foreclosure. So if you're able to find someone that maybe is before they get foreclosed on, but they're motivated, they're behind on their payments, they need to take action, need to do something, that's the best time to buy that house because that's a win-win for you and that seller. The seller actually walks away with some cash. You're able to buy it probably at an off-market discount, a little bit below market value for a quick sale, easy transaction as is, those types of things. You trade off that to get a little better price, and the buyer and the seller still wins. So the best way, in my opinion, is pre-foreclosure. That doesn't always happen. Second way is to buy it at the auction. So what happens in Georgia is the properties will go into foreclosure, be repossessed by the bank by going to auction at the courthouse steps in the county that the property is located. So ad is run in the paper, notices are sent to the buyer, and then the bank literally will sell it at auction on the courthouse steps. Now, in order to buy it that way, you've got to have cash in hand or certified funds in hand at the courthouse steps to give over to the attorney at the time of the sale. And the detractor to this is typically you're not able to access the property, see inside the property, or really know anything about what you're buying. So that is probably the most risky way that there is to buy real estate. And I'll never forget, a few years ago, investor bought a property on the steps, was not able to see the inside of the house, didn't know for sure what he was buying, thought he was getting a great deal, got inside, and there literally was a giant hole in the middle of the floor where there had been a leak and it had been abandoned and no one had paid attention to it. And I believe the investor lost quite a bit of money on that purchase. So buying at the steps, risky way to do it. It can be a good thing, but it can also be very risky. Third way, if it does not sell at the auction and then the bank actually repossesses it and then they put it out on the open market. So the third way to buy is directly from the bank as a foreclosed REO type property. And that's a much safer way to buy because the banks typically will allow you to access the property, they'll allow you to see it, they'll allow you to do an inspection, and then you're actually buying it directly from the bank. Typically those get listed with a real estate agent. So you'll see those on the market listed as foreclosure or as REO. So that's the 3 types of ways to get a deal on a foreclosed type property. Now, one more thing to add to that, we really aren't seeing very many foreclosures anymore. You know, if you remember back in the Great Recession, 2008, 9, 10, 11, there were tons of foreclosures. About half the inventory at that time was in some type of distress. We really aren't seeing that today because what's happened over the last 2 or 3 years, prices have skyrocketed. Most owners have a lot of equity. So rather than, if they do get behind on their payments, rather than lose that house, they're able to sell it on the open market, walk away with some money, and sell it for a lot more than they paid for it just 1 or 2 or 3 years ago. So if you're interested in buying foreclosures, looking for good deals on real estate, reach out to us. We'll be glad to help you if we can.